This is me? Great. I had it muted until I was set. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Well, I was hoping that Donna was going to be leading services with me this evening, but unfortunately, Bob had some medical needs, and so she's not here, and Debbie is sick, and so I'm on my own tonight. It just means you're going to have to sing with me, which hopefully you do every week, but sometimes I'm not entirely sure. We begin our service with let's do that. Page 10. As we turn back to pages 3 and 2 for the lighting of Shabbat candles, I'd like to invite up Marcia and Iris.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead, lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Thank you.
We'll continue on page 12 with Lechuna Ranana. Pages 20 and 21, Lecha Dodi. We'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the 9th verse, rise in body or spirit and face the entrance to greet the Sabbath bride. Lecha Dodi likat kala yala 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 nei Shabbat. Dili invited. In the middle of page 22. Tzadik katamari frach frach, tzadik katamari frach, tzadik katamari frach frach, tzadik katamari frach. Keres balvanon izge, keres balvanon izge, keres balvanon izge izge. Keres balvanon izge, keres balvanon izge, keres balvanon izge izge. Tzadik katamari frach frach, tzadik katamari frach, tzadik katamari frach frach, tzadik katamari frach. Keres balvanon izge, keres balvanon izge, keres balvanon izge izge. Keres balvanon izge, keres balvanon izge, keres balvanon izge izge. Page 26, Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alman divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayetecho beit Yisrael, bagala bagala, u'vizman kariv, v'meru amen. Yeheshmei Rabbah mevarach, le'alam ulal me'al maya, yitbarach, yitbarach ve'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam ve'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekodesham brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran belma v'meru amen. Please rise and bow to your spirit for Baruch Hu, page 28. Page 31, we join together at the top. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Day and night, show us the way, teaching us to number our days. When we rise Yisrael, Amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Day and night, show us the way. Show us the way, teaching us, number our days to number our days when we rise, and when we lie down, and when we lie down. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Kivon Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. Page 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Page 41 on this anniversary of D-Day. We offer this passage before singing Mi Chamocha. Sing the song of people joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
bimam. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, ונגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 42.
השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים.
Spread a shelter.
Spread a shelter of your peace over us. Guard us with wisdom. Guard us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu lishalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Save us for the sake of your name.
Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu lishalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu
Baruch atah Adonai, hapares sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית
we continue with the Amidah on page 46. Please rise in body or spirit.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaNorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei HaKol Vezocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bal Gevurot Umidom Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman ata l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahallelu chasela Baruch atah Adonai El HaKadosh.
We continue with our private prayers. When you've finished with your prayers, you may be seated.
May God bless you with all good. May God keep all evil from you. And may God fill your heart with wisdom and grace you with all truth. May God lift up God's merciful face and shine on you for all time. And may God grant you eternal peace. May God bless you with all good. May God keep all evil from you. And may God fill your heart with wisdom and grace you with all truth. May God lift up God's merciful face and shine on you for all time. And may God grant you eternal peace.
That melody, or the lyrics, are adapted from the priestly benediction, the priestly blessing that is in this week's Torah portion in Parshat Naso, which asks God to bless and protect us, to lift up God's face to us and be gracious to us, and to bless us with peace. And this is actually adapted from the Qumran version, the Qumran sect's version of the priestly benediction, which is slightly different. And I read an article today about how they're using some new dating, like archaeological dating techniques and artificial intelligence to determine exactly when the different texts were written, the different scrolls. There are about 100 different scrolls from the Dead Sea Scrolls, and so they're trying to figure out exactly when they were written, and they've determined that Ecclesiastes and Daniel are from earlier than they anticipated. What? How could they have been so far off? By decades or maybe centuries. Which was my favorite part of the article, was them talking about how they may be off by decades or centuries. Who knows? They're working on it. But given that piece of news and that the blessing, priestly blessing, is in this week's Parsha, I wanted to bring in that piece. And we also ask God to bless us with wholeness and healing, and I know that there are many in our community, and maybe even here in this room, who are in need of that wholeness and healing. So if there's someone that you're thinking of, I invite you to share their names with us at this time. Mishaberach can be found on page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We also share some blessings and moments of gratitude from the past week. I'll start. I got out on my paddleboard yesterday, and don't worry, I was sitting for most of the time, but I paddled across to Vashon Island. It was a great day for it. And I got to hang out with some harbor seals and some jellyfish. I did not touch them. I wanted to.
We're all done.
Try now.
Hello. We're all done with end of the year testing.
Woohoo!
My son came home from college this week.
I am very grateful for John for fixing the plumbing problem that we've had. He's been working all week on it.
Just in the nick of time.
So my oldest kiddo is out with the Navy this summer at the academy, and he just got off of a submarine today. So he spent a few days under the water on a ballistic ballistic missile one, and he got to crawl inside of a torpedo thing where they put the torpedoes. What's that called? I don't even know. But a torpedo tube. Thank you.
We got to go hear our grandson play in his first middle school orchestra band concert, which was challenging. And because he should never put mitzvahs and celebrating great things off from week to week, on Sunday it's our 50th wedding anniversary.
For all these things and more, we say, Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. So, Parshat Naso, it's a doozy. It's got some great stuff in it. It's got some fascinating stuff in it. It's a good thing we don't have many children in the congregation, because I'm going to focus on the part that's not super child-friendly. Remember, I always say that the Torah is not a children's book. This is one of those sections. Sarah, you're almost bat mitzvah, so it's okay. So the parsha starts off by continuing the the responsibilities of the different clans of Levites. And then it goes into a section about what to do if a husband suspects his wife of committing adultery, but there is not enough proof of that fact or that suspicion. And the text is very graphic in that if he refuses to back down from his suspicion, and there are not enough witnesses, because just as a reminder, back then, in order to convict someone of adultery, which was a capital crime, you needed 2 eyewitnesses. Not circumstantial evidence like they went into a room together, but like you actually saw them committing adultery. 2 people had to see them actually committing adultery. Part of it was you don't want to actually have to put people to death. Leave it to God to take care of it. And that way you don't accidentally put someone innocent to death, right? And 2 eyewitnesses means that there's no mistaking what actually happened, right? So lacking those 2 eyewitnesses, a husband could still bring his wife into the tabernacle, and she would have to uncover her hair, which was a very big deal. Even as we're all sitting here, most of us sitting here with our hair uncovered. At the time, that was a very big deal, something that was only done by prostitutes. Right, big deal. And then the priest would write on a scrap of parchment or a piece of parchment a vow that says that if I committed adultery, let my thigh sag and my hip wither, something along those lines. No one really knows what it actually means. And then the ink was scraped off, put in some water, or the parchment was ground up and put in the water, and then the woman had to drink it. Oh, with a little bit of dust from the floor of the tabernacle, right? Making a little magic potion of sorts. And then if she was innocent, nothing would happen. And if she was guilty, then something would happen. She might get sick, or she might, who knows, right? This was clearly some sort of incantation. There are some parallels, by the way, to the golden calf episode. If anyone remembers from the aftermath of the golden calf, the calf is ground into dust, is mixed with water, and then everyone who was suspected of taking part in the building and dancing and worshiping around the golden calf had to drink it, and whoever was guilty died. Interestingly, this would not typically kill the woman, but she would then be liable to death because she was guilty of adultery. Her belly shall distend and her thigh sag is the exact quote. But it's really interesting because you drink some water and some ink and some dust, and maybe you'll get a belly ache, but it's not a lot of water. Or if there is a lot of water, then it's so diluted that nothing's gonna happen probably. it's ground up. You're not like swallowing a whole piece of parchment. It's dust at this point. It's like when I sing the dinosaur song for Shabbat with the kiddos, I tell them that we're going to drink the challah. It's not quite that. It's ground. It is more thickened water, slightly thickened water. It's not going to make you sick, unless you actually are guilty, in which case your guilt might make you sick, right? But it's not the water that's doing it. And so there's a lot of discussion about what is actually happening with this ritual that apparently would have no real consequences, right? Why would you go through this whole thing? And some of the commentators and scholars suggest that this was actually a really important way to have someone who just couldn't get past themselves and their own fears about their, in this case, wife, to have something to do to end it, to mitigate that fear, right? If nothing happens, then we're done. There's no more cause for concern. And I've been thinking about that a lot recently, how in this time of heightened anti-Semitism, in this time where the country especially feels at the brink of something, and there's a lot of anxiety, and we're not entirely sure what's coming, although the threats are feeling very real, there is almost nothing for us to do, which just exacerbates all of that fear and all of that anxiety, right? We just sit and stew in it because we don't have something that will fix it, right? How many of us, when we're trying to solve a problem, when we confront a problem, we look for the ways to solve it, right? And this is a problem that as individuals, we certainly can't solve, and as a community and as a society, we are having trouble solving. And it just leaves us in fear and anxiety. The fear and anxiety is really real in a way that potentially the jealous husband's fear was not, although potentially it was real, right? We don't know. She could have been guilty. But it really made me think about the need to have something tangible to do. And so just so you know, we are going to have some classes, some security training things. I'm not going to say too much more because we're on live stream and that defeats the purpose, to broadcast it to the entire world. But I did want to let you know that we are trying to make sure that we have some tangible steps to move forward. And the other thing that is so critical and feels like it's not doing anything sometimes, I think, is to get to know people. Get to know people. Part of how communities break down is in isolation. Part of why our society is breaking down, and we've been talking, like psychologists and sociologists have been talking about this for decades now, actual decades, that the epidemic of loneliness is not just hurting individuals, but it is hurting our entire community. There was a great article probably about 15 years ago, actually, about how the lack of communal singing has led to a decline in a sense of unity within a community. And yet, what is it that we do here every week? We sing together, whether our voices are good or not. We come together and we sing familiar songs, we learn new songs, and it does something for us, right? I mean, I assume it does something for you all, that's why you keep coming back. Right?
That's a big difference. Those who say pray twice.
Okay, so there is a tradition from St. Augustine that when you sing, you pray twice. And that's true, I think, from my own experience, for sure. There's also something about being in community, about raising our voices together, that does something different. That's, even if you don't think you're praying, elevates the soul in some way. And how can you be mad at the person next to you, or how can you not feel connected to the person across the room when you're singing together, right? It changes some of who we are, like literally physically changes some of who we are when we are singing and when we are singing together, and when we come together. And so in this time when there is so much threat, when we feel like we would be safer staying in our own isolated homes and in places where we feel safe, I'm going to challenge you to meet people, to get to know people, because our tradition tells us, after this episode with the jealous husband, that God spoke to Moses and says, I will bless you through the people. And then we get the priestly blessing. God is blessing us not by virtue of our prayers, but by virtue of how we engage with each other. We become the blessings. Shabbat shalom. Greg likes to give the announcements. He's immediate past president, which I believe is the most coveted title.
Oh, yes, it is.
In synagogue life.
Shabbat shalom. And I'm not going to sing these because you'd all leave. So on Sunday from 2 to 4, there is a klezmer duo going to be playing here as part of the Rutlinger Music Fund. And so if you like klezmer music, and even if you don't, come and celebrate klezmer music. There's a Temple Beth board meeting on Tuesday on the 17th that will be streamed live for those of you who don't want to show up. And if you'd like to be here, then you can sit around the table with us. Sisterhood Shabbat is on the 20th. And there is a baseball night at the Tacoma Rainiers on July 3rd. Get your tickets. We should all be there together because there might be something about cheering a baseball team together that somewhere is lost in the Torah.
My cousin has a whole thing on the Torah of baseball.
So, okay, that's a Rabbi Rosenthal joke that I won't go into about the old translation of the start of Genesis and why God is a baseball fan, because it starts by saying, in the big inning. But that's purely a Rabbi Rosenthal joke. And then the Tacoma Pride Festival is on July 12th. TBE will be there. If you would like to be part of that, please let us know. Shabbat Shalom. And I was really afraid where you were going with the sermon, because that would have been a tough act to follow altogether. But thank you for bringing it out to doing things.
Bless you. See, we bless each other. Just a little clarification on the Pride Festival. We do not have a booth this year, but we will be walking around with t-shirts and materials. So if you would like to be around the community, get to know people, and share how much you love our community, then please contact Maddie and the membership committee through membership@tbtacoma.org. We are going to return to our prayer books, page 282. Please rise and embody your spirit for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gerula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn to those who died at this time in years past. If I say the name of someone that you are remembering, I invite you to rise, embody your spirit so we can acknowledge you as a mourner. We think of Sophie Baker, Noreen Barnes, Ruby Burnett, Louis B. Deitz, Aaron Ellen, Bess Farber, Jules Friedman, Alan Gold, Homer L. Goldblatt, Raleigh Hyman, Philip Hubbard, Esther Kleiner, Morris Lyon, Meyer Bud Mandels, Nachum Mesher, Simon Newman, Ralph Payton, Vicki Nyborg Peltoma, Harvey Post, Arthur Powell, Florence Robinson, Anne-Marie Rome, Max Rosen, Bernice Rosenthal, David Rubenstein, Laura Sarney, Blossom Leichman Shelton, Harry Staymeisen, Hilda Wolfers, and Joe L. Wolf. As we think of them, we say Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing, and we rise to join our mourners so that no mourner has to stand alone. As we offer the words of the mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alman divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shabrichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say. Kiddush can be found on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom techilah le'mikrae kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to Melanie on tech and Erica and Greg for greeting and Vivian for setting up the oneg and I don't know who cleaned up. Ose Shalom. Ose Shalom. Vimromav Yaseh Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.